Hey guys, it's Original Ren. Thanks again for stopping by the YouTube channel. Whether you are a new or returning subscriber, I appreciate it. As promised, here is a second video for 2020, starting right out after the previous video I just did a couple days ago with the Freeing to Love Rue Bunny Girls. Feel free to check that out. It's a pretty cool video. This video is going to involve, as you guessed it, based on the screen you see, Comic Market 97. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with my comic market excursions, this is, I want to say, around the 9th or 10th comic market that I've either attended in person or done via proxy shopping. And we'll talk about that in a moment here and what that means. Before I get started with the video, though, I want to give a fair warning to everybody that watches this. While most of the content is censored, there are some potential not safe for work merchandise items located in this video, as well as lolicon type material and other things. If you are not comfortable with that type of, content, then feel free not to watch this video. As always, if you do like it or do enjoy looking at merchandise, please feel free to continue, comment in the comment section, and of course, let me know what you think. But just want to give a fair warning to anybody that if you're not in that kind of stuff, please feel free to check out the many other videos I have on my channel or just bypass this one. So, with that, let's start. First, let's talk about what Comic Market is. For those of you that are not aware of what Comic Market is, it is an event much like Comic-Con. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but it's Japan's version of it, and it's been around far more than Comic-Con, if I'm not mistaken, where basically the number represents the number of comic markets that have existed, and there are two per year, one in August and one in December. Generally, it is 3 days. 3 days in August at the end of the month, and 3 days in December at the end of the month. However, this year in 2020, both comic markets for both summer and winter were 4 days, and I'll explain why in a moment. With that being said, Comic Market is an event that houses basically everything you could possibly think of. Everything from DVDs, Blu-rays, music. Dojinshi is the big part of it. Cosplays, character goods, merchandise, you name it. The only thing it does not have, for the most part, are figurines, because figurines have their own event called Wonderfest, or Wonder Festival, where there's one in the winter and one in the summer. I believe it's February and July, and that is in the Makuhari Meisei, which is in Makuhari in Japan, in Chiba, or Chiba-ken. And there's also the Tokyo Big Sight, which houses the comic market each year. And I believe it's been Tokyo Big Sight. It might have moved there before I was even born, but I don't know the whole history of Comic Market. You could check out their official website. It has a lot of history about it, as well as number of attendees, etc. Comic Market is huge. There are over hundreds of thousands of attendees in one day. It is so crowded in this building that oftentimes you can barely move around. And it is out in the Tokyo Bay area, near Tokyo Big Sight, where you take a couple train rides over and eventually line up in a huge line that can extend so far back because there's so many attendees. The event itself opens up at 10 a.m., generally closes where people start wrapping up around 3 p.m., sometimes earlier, sometimes about 5 p.m. It doesn't stay open that late per day because a lot of the doujinshi artists will set up their booths, as well as the official character booths, sell their goods and merchandise because they're from upcoming artists or people that, what we follow, circles, which I'll explain what those are in a moment. And basically, they bring their goods, they sell their goods, and they go on their way. This event contains, for the most part, fan artists, and fan artists are what we call in the industry circles. And circles are an artist, essentially, that a group of people will follow, generally on Twitter or any social media account, Pixiv, whatever they use, where they will essentially be that group's followers. If you follow their circle, you are part of their group. Think of it like a cult, but not in the negative sense or the creepy sense. But basically, it's a group of individuals that follow said artist. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can generally shop Comic Market in a couple different ways. There's many different resources out there. I'm not going to make a video about all the different ways you can shop at Comic Market, but if you want to get into this business or get into this kind of merchandise, please feel free to shoot me a private message or message me on Discord. My Discord's lying around somewhere on my channel. Or you can also feel free to leave a comment where I'll comment on those comments as well if I have a chance to read them. If you really want to get into this kind of stuff and really like following certain artists and really want to know if they sell their merchandise in terms of fan works or otherwise, Dakimakura, character goods, keychains, acrylic stands, which are now very popular and coming up here in Japan, which we'll talk about later in the video, feel free to, again, leave a comment or PM me, and I'll get more information about it. Comic Market, I have attended around, since Comic Market 89, I believe is the first one I ever attended. So about, yeah, 8 Comic Cats I've attended. 2 of these I've attended in person, and the rest of them have been proxy shopping. I've always wanted to attend more, but the event is exhausting. It is extremely crowded. It's not my cup of tea. Plus, half the time you shop there, good sellout. I've done other videos on my YouTube channel about Comic Market and the explanation about it, but this is just kind of recap because, hey, it's a new year. Why not? Anyways, let's jump into previews of the merchandise I purchased in Winter Comic-Con 97. Now, before we jump into that, the image you see on your screen here are the 2 catalogs that were introduced for this year's Comic Market, done by the wonderful artist that goes by the name of Honeyworks. And feel free to check out their art. I believe Honeyworks is an actual circle that you can learn more about if you want to follow some of their work. Generally, there's a featured artist each and every year for the Comic Market catalogs. I know Cyro, person I buy from, or Flat Patty, I believe is the artist name, generally has done one for 1 year as well. Now, a lot of the times, Honeywork will also have their merchandise, such as water bottles, Pocari Sweats, and Pocari Sweat's a drink, like a Gatorade, basically, in Japan, and also their T-shirts, calendars, things like that that you can buy. I've gone into a whole video about Comic Market before. I could definitely do a refresher video if you guys are interested about, how to shop it, where to go. I've done like a mapping of it and explained it in the catalog. So anyways, Honeyworks, they're the artists this year. And these are the 2 catalogs, the one for the DVD and more music merchandise, and then one for the catalog of the artists that are on the show floor. You can tell it's winter themed. It looks like they are carolers of some type that she'd like to do, but hey, choose its own. Last thing I want to say here before I jump in any further is that Comic Market was 4 days this year. Normally it's 3. And the reason it was 4 days in summer, in August of this year, as well as winter, was because of the Tokyo Olympics in 2020 next year. The big site is currently being renovated because it's being used for the Tokyo Olympics, and because the site was actually less in size, they actually extended it by a day for more attendees because it gets so crowded when basically half the building was not functionable, and they had to extend it over 4 days to allow all the artists a chance to be able to showcase. Some of the day 3 artists got pushed to day 4, as those of you are aware, day 3 is the sort of porn day, where a lot of, well, I guess you could say, doujinshi with female nudity is represented. I think day 2 is Yaoi Day, or Otome Good Day. It might be day 1. I don't remember the exact days. It's been a while. I have to look that back up. But anyways, point being, 4 days this year. So most of my art and merchandise was purchased on day 1 and day 3 as normal. Day 4 was its own separate thing, but yes, day 1 and day 3 were generally the artists I got my merchandise from. Day 2 as well. There was one there. Anyways, this is the first image. So what I'm going to do here with my crappy OBS imaging editing skills, because it took me hours to even figure out how to freaking do this new format, and it still sucks. I apologize. We'll go along and kind of showcase. Again, last warning. Lolly merchandise, kind of not safe for work. If you're not into this kind of stuff, feel free to stop now. That is your final warning. Let's go into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to showcase here is of course, lovely Milk Bar. Now, Milk Bar is one of the circle artists I follow, and she is very big on Hibiki Works or Division 6, as you could tell. This year, I did not actually buy any Dakis. Actually, I bought one Daki. I generally tried to budget myself. Merchandise price was about $700 in total this year, not including shipping so far. But because I'm a VIP member, I have a free coupon that I can use for international shipping, which I'll use when I know all the prices, because my proxy houses my items for 30 days. Anyways, these are the items. So, of course, the first set I bought here was the book set, which is the little blue, I guess you could say, row, where it says a new, and all that merchandise. That includes the bag, the doujinshi book, as well as some bookmarks, some other little ribbons, etc., a little King Can badge, everything you see in that little row. In addition, I also bought down below, not the Daki, not the little stuffed items, but the bag, the Hibiki bag, where it says new as well, a shoulder bag, where she's sort of laying down. So only 2 items from Milk Bar this year: the shoulder bag in the center bottom there, as well as the book set, for those of you that wear book sets. So that was all from Milk Bar. Moving along, we now have also Flat Patty, or no, sorry, not Flat Patty, Fluffy times Fluffy, or Fluffy x Fluffy, however you want to say it, Fluffy, we'll call him. This year I only bought the book set. They had a couple Dockies and some other items as well, but wasn't really interested in any of their merchandise. Did buy the book set though, got the bag. It's mainly of Chino, or Cappuccino from Gochimon. I believe the 4th and 5th items are either small. Those are books, it looks like. Yes, we have a volume 12 book, and then as well as so they're both like little doujinshis. One's just the art, and then one is the actual doujinshi. And then there's a calendar, as well as some other random assortment of items. I want to say there's a phone card. Well, hey, there's Mary from Pokemon. That's interesting. Just a random character from that. Or I guess they go by Mary in Japan. I don't know her name in the English version. Sword and Shield, Pokemon. Anyways, that is Fluffy. So that was another set I bought. Moving along, we also have, of course, Mamu. So Mitsumomo Mamu, or Honey Girl, or Mamgon, at Mamgon is their Twitter. My favorite artist of all time. Now, I did not buy any of her Dockies this year. I'm still contemplating if I want to buy the top right Dockie up there, but there were no Chino Dockies, and I really wasn't interested. I did buy her book set, bottom left corner, for the 3,000 yen. Includes all those items, as well as a little like towel thing. And then also the blanket, which was the 4,500 yen one, the big or larger blanket. The binder I did not buy because, God forbid, I would ever need a 3-ring binder with Mitsu's art on it. It's cool, but what am I going to use it for? I don't need that. And then, yeah, the Dockies, I don't really like. I think it's Rize is his character. I don't really like that character, so not really worth it. The one on the right is one of her original characters, I believe, and I might want to get that at some point, but we'll think about that. I know I can find that in aftermarket pretty easy. It's not going to be too difficult to find because she's a pretty popular artist. So yes, that is Mamu's set. And then moving along from that, we have, yes. So from Cyro, I bought a hoodie. The only thing I bought from Cyro this year. This was an actual image taken by the artist. The front of the hoodie, I believe it's one size fits all. Or an XL, I guess you could say. And this is the front part. Now, the hood inside there actually has some of the artwork. I could have taken another image, but I was kind of lazy, didn't show it all. This was just one side of it, and then of course you have the back side, which has his 2 famous cat girls he always draws. So yes, these are great lounging merchandise items. Now, for obvious reasons, people may ask, well, Ben, do you wear this in public? No, I don't wear this in public. There's a thing called common courtesy. I don't really care at the end of the day. I usually wear it around the house. It's a nice little hoodie to have. But at the end of the day, you're not going to go in public with this. There's obviously, kids that walk around in areas you go to. You're not going to wear something like this out of respect. So it's not about me being embarrassed per se. I don't think anyone should be embarrassed by some of the merchandise they wear. It's more about just respect for others. Also, with this kind of merchandise, yes, it's great lounging wear. It's just extra clothing. Also, I like collecting apparel. It's fun to just collect. Kind of like how I collect Dakimakura, but I never actually use body pillows. Most of the time, I just collect it for the artwork. And this is just to support the artist. So this is a hoodie, and I'll probably showcase that at some point. Maybe in real life, who knows? Okay, moving beyond that, we have, finally, Black Paper Fortune did a Daki. This was the only Daki I bought. I really liked the design on this character from Black Paper. I like the way Black Paper does his girls. A lot of the time they're usually like animal type girls, or in this case, just a fancier character. But I don't know. I just really like Black Paper Fortune, so I got this one. This is a two-way tricot, regular Daki, like anything else. It's the only Daki I actually bought this year. Hey, so I'm kept proud of that. I didn't need another 36 Daki or something like that. I don't ever use. Still trying to sell some of those. Yeah, that's great. So that is that one. Beyond that, we have... yes. my lovely and favorite artist, Shuz. So I didn't expect to get any of Shuz's material. I got now we're looking at the new stuff up top. The stuff at the bottom there is back catalogs. There are 2 acrylic stands that I got that came with the doujinshi. Obviously, the doujinshi will be scanned online, which like EX Hentai or something like that for those of you that follow that site. Good old Sad Panda. I mean, that's a secret. We don't talk about that. And we have the art. I don't know. I kind of saw the sample for his current doujinshi for this. It seems interesting, but I don't really like his stories. I am a huge guilty pleasure for his girls, so some of you have seen for my posters. Whatever. Some people say those are fucking disgusting looking tits. Yeah, whatever. Each has their own taste. I don't care. Like I said, guilty pleasure. So this is Shuz. And 2 acrylic stands with that one as well as the doujinshi. And that's it, actually. Not too much, again, like I said. So anyways, thanks, of course, again, for stopping by. This little art that Shuz did. Really appreciate, all the support and the constant following of my channel. I'll be uploading a couple other videos here later on. I still have a bunch of other ideas. Generally, I'm giving them a couple days to allow the other videos sit, but hey, thanks guys for stopping by. Again, if you have any questions about Comic Market or anything at all, of course, we'll showcase all this in an actual future video with all the actual merchandise, but this is just a preview for right now. And I have a bunch of Ami owners I still need to unbox. I have like 3 or 4 Ami owners that I haven't done. Maybe I'll do some showcasing on that or something. I don't know. But we'll find out some more videos. Anyways, thanks guys. You have a wonderful continuing new year, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.